Now I'm going to be looking at the pilot classes. Now, most of the pilot classes are pretty different. Only the Imperial pilot and CIS pilot are pretty much the same. But other than that, the Rebel pilot has a shotgun, and the Clone pilot has a bolt caster. So now the Imperial pilot has, like other pilot classes, it has a pistol, health and ammo dispenser with 5 ammo, and fusion cutter for repairing buildings and ammo box and stuff like that. But unlike the other pilot classes, apart from the CIS pilot, it has a mortar launcher as its primary weapon. Now, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die, am I? Oops. It's close. The Imperial pilot is optimal at close range, and similar to rockets, you want to be aiming at your opponent's feet to take them out most of the time. It's only easier to hit your opponent when aiming at their feet, because even if you don't get a direct hit, your splash damage will possibly take them out. A mortar launcher does have quite a bit less splash damage than a rocket, but can still be quite useful in this way. The mortar launcher has 5 ammo, so even it's quite spammable, so you can just like spam it even at medium range quite well. As a pilot, it's good to make good use of your pistol at long range though, as well as your mortar launcher, because, well, can do quite a lot of damage, and the pilot has quite a lot of survivability since it has the health packs. Pilot class can be quite powerful if you can get ammo bot, because that way you can effectively get unlimited health packs, which can help quite a bit. So if you can capture a ammo bot, then you can be a lot more effective, and they're even more sustainable than Imperial pilot otherwise would be. One of the greatest advantages of Imperial pilots is that due to their health packs, they can stay in fights for a long time, so you don't necessarily have to win a fight straight away. You can slowly wear down your opponents if you have to. The charged up shot is pretty much primarily only for trying to keep opponents from going into specific areas. This way you can like force them to go to suboptimal areas where you can pick them off with your mortar launcher more effectively. The pilot's best quality is its survivability, which allows it to stand fight for quite a long time. So while the Imperial pilot's fairly effective at close range, usually medium range is probably the best range for it. Medium to close, but you don't want to get too close to rocket troopers. Imperial pilot's very effective at dealing with particularly soldiers, but also to some degree snipers, because it can regenerate health and either take them out with the close. Well, it can either engage in close range with the mortar launcher, or it can take them out at long range with the pistol. So it's probably better to get to close range with the mortar launcher. So the Imperial pilot is most effective at at close range, except against opponent rockets, in which case you probably want to be getting into medium range against them, and just take them out slowly. Well, not necessarily slowly, but wear them down with your pistol and long range mortar shots. Since they don't have health packs and you do, so you can outlast them. Like Rocket Trooper, you really don't want to be fighting uphill or against an opponent who's got a height advantage, since you're mostly relying on your splash damage to take out enemies. And if you're trying to hit someone who's up higher than you, then it's can be very difficult, since mortars travel fairly slowly in comparison to other shots. And in a similar way to Rocket Trooper, you don't really want to be fighting uphill. So now looking at the Clone Pilot, Of course, similar to other pilots, and that's got health packs, fusion cutter, and pistol. However, the clone pilot has the bolt caster as its primary weapon. The bolt caster doesn't require you to hit your opponents on exactly. As you can see here, it'll work. Here we go. If I aim even fairly close to the enemy, it will target them. Though, instead of doing it against Droidicus very effectively. Yeah, as you can see, you don't have to hit them directly. However, it does take 3 hits for the clone pilot to take out a normal enemy soldier. And of course, they're a lot weaker against Droidicus shields, so take a long time to take out a Droidicus. You can also charge up the bolt caster. This is very effective against enemies on multiplayer. They can just fully charge a shot. It won't quite take them out against any enemies which isn't a sniper, but then you can follow it up with a pistol shot to take them out. Like this. The clone pilot is most optimal at medium, well, basically the largest extent of its bolt caster range, which is about the distance from here to the edge of that building. That's because you don't really want to get close range against Rocket Trooper. The clone pilot's gun is most effective when you're not on level playing ground, because its weapon doesn't rely on splash damage. Instead, it hits opponents even if you don't even aim right at them. So against Rocket Trooper or such, it's very effective when you've got the high ground and they have the low ground, or generally the uneven playing field, because that way they can't use their splash damage to their advantage. However, the clone pilot's most effective against sniper and trooper units and fairly close range, because you can just kill off any damage they do to hit it, and always do fairly substantial damage to them, even if your aim isn't the best. Their clone pilot isn't optimal against droid pilot, because droid pilot can usually take it out with its splash damage, unless on an uneven field. Can also struggle against Droidicus, as it takes ages to take out their shield, and you don't want to be caught at close range against Rocket Trooper. Against Rocket Trooper, you probably want to take them out with your pistol at long range as much as you can, or if forced into fairly close range, then you have to use your zapper weapon, but try and keep as much distance from you to your opponent as possible, while still being in zapper range. Rebel Pilot is the last pilot class I'm going to be looking at. Well, it's the last pilot class there is with a different weapon. It has a standard pistol, health, and fusion cutter. But its primary weapon, it has a shotgun weapon, which is quite cool. Rebel Pilot's definitely one of the most effective pilot classes. Shotgun's most optimal at medium close range, but can be quite useful for spamming at long range. And since it doesn't use it doesn't use splash damage at all, or doesn't have any splash damage, it's best at on uneven playing field. So Cloud City isn't necessarily the best. Cloud City's not bad actually, because it's fairly long range. Out of all the pilot classes, the Rebel Pilot's by far the best at long range, since the combination of shotgun plus pistol spam is very effective. Especially if you aim at the head, you can do tons of damage quickly. Well, you can't really headshot people at long range, but close range you can take them out one hit. Oh my gosh, that's not enemies. No! The Rebel Pilot is probably the most effective Rebel class at taking out Dark Trooper, since they have the health pack to outlast Dark Trooper, and the shotgun to match them at close range. They're also very effective against trooper units, like all pilots, because you can just heal off any damage they take, and get into close range, and the shotgun easily outdamages a rifle at close range. Fairly effective against snipers, not so much as they are against troopers, but they can shrug off body shots by healing, and as long as you're not like standing in their path for too long, you should be able to take them out. You can try and take them out with pistol at long range, not optimal, but possible. And shotgun at close range is very effective. Well, the combination of shotgun pistol. Well, the combination of shotgun pistol spam at long range also is probably the best way to go. The worst class matchup they probably have is against Imperial Pilots. Imperial Pilots has splash damage, which means that they can take out the dual pilot quite effectively at close range. The dual pilot does have the advantage at medium to long range, but the Imperial Pilot can heal off damage fairly quickly with its own health packs. The real pilot at medium to long range is very effective against Rocket Trooper, but at close range it doesn't have a great matchup against Rocket Trooper, so against Rocket Trooper try and stay at medium to long range, well, as long range as you can pretty much, since you can heal off their pistol damage with your health packs, and it's pretty easy to dodge rockets at long range or even medium range. Right, now I'm going to be looking at the Wookie class, which is the unique unit for the Rebel faction. Now the Wookie is slower than every other class, but it also has much more health. And it's equipped with a crossbow, grenade launcher, and time bombs. Now, time bombs are pretty useless on multiplayer against enemies. The only real purpose is for controlling territory and trying to prevent enemy movement, but even for that, they're not all that great. Your main weapons are going to be your crossbow, but your grenade launchers are your useful secondary weapon. Can just stick grenades and stuff with it quite easily, and prevent enemy territory. The crossbow is the main weapon you're going to be using as Wookie, and you can charge it up to different levels. So you can charge it up to fire 3 shots, 5 shots, or if you fully charge, it can fire 7 shots. Well, the standard shots is 1, but yeah. When I play Wookie, I nearly always charge it up to 3 shots at when there's enemies right around. I would only charge it to 3 if I need to keep consistent fire up against enemies at like medium range. Otherwise, I might charge it. Oh, if there's no enemies around, you can obviously charge it up a bit more. You can't jump while it's charged though, so you might move a bit slower around the place. If you go around with it fully charged, just a disadvantage. Wookie in general can be quite difficult to class to play compared to the other special units. Due to its low speed, it takes longer to get to health bots or control posts or anything. Especially since it can't jump as easily if you've got your weapon charged up. And well, it does have a lot of health. Its weapons aren't overly powerful, though. Keep in mind that it's can be fairly easy to headshot even at quite long range with the crossbow, since it fires when you fire like 3 shots, it goes like in a straight line, as opposed to a normal shotgun, which wouldn't. So the best idea with Wookie is to aim for headshots, regardless of the range, because even at long to medium range, it isn't too difficult to get headshots, and 2 headshots will take out an enemy. If I can actually prepare properly. There we go. And otherwise it takes simple body shots to take out an opponent, so the best idea is to aim at head height, like all the time with your crossbow. I see many people online just spam the grenade launcher, and that really isn't the best tactic with the Wookie, in my opinion. I mean, you might like get a couple of lag or lucky grenades, or catch a couple of enemies out by spamming them down, but overall I think the crossbow is a more effective weapon. Enemies can just jump out of the way of the grenade launcher without too much difficulty. An example of this in the corridor is that you can just aim at head height and spam 3 or 5 shots at a time. It's quite effective. That's just on single player, but it's quite good on multiplayer as well. And let's say you should use a grenade launcher, you should just when you're finished firing a charged shot, or the opponent's close and you're in trouble, then you can just quickly switch to it to fire a sticky grenade out, or use it to keep enemies back. That's the main kind of uses for it. So I find it more useful supporting weapon for the crossbow rather than your main weapon. At close range, you can take out enemies in pretty much one hit with the crossbow, since one of the bolts will hit people at close range. So Wookiees are most effective at about medium range, since they have high health. A weapon which can take out opponents in 2 hits, pretty much, if you headshot them from medium range. And if enemies get a bit closer, you can take them out in 1 hit. So maybe medium close range, actually. And grenade launcher, of course, is useful at close range as well, to use grenades and such. Wookiees do have problems at survivability though. Even though they have a large amount of health, like, the fact that they're slow means they take longer to get to health and ammo bots. And even though they have a lot of ammo for their crossbow, once you run out, you don't have a pistol to fall back on. You only have, well, you can run out of ammo entirely as Wookie. So you don't have an unlimited supply with one weapon, which can be a problem if you're trying to fight for a long time. Generally though, the crossbow having 175 plus 35 ammo, I guess it's 110 or something. 120. 220, sorry. That sounds about right. I'm just guessing off the top of my head. It shouldn't be too much of a problem in shorter fights anyway. But you can use up ammo quite quickly, especially at long range, by spamming lots of shots. Anyway, as you can see right now, since you have more health, I believe health bots heal you slower. So it takes longer for you to regain your health. Which means that it slows down Wookiees even more if you're trying to regain health. Overall, Wookiees can be pretty effective at, although a very effective class at medium to short range. Most effective against stormtroopers because, well, stormtroopers, rocket troopers, and snipers at medium to short range is probably its ideal targets, since stormtroopers cannot outdamage Wookiees. Wookiees outdamage them quite nicely and have more health, so although a stormtrooper might do some damage, Wookie will nearly always win the fight. Rocket Troopers are better at close range, but as long as the Wookiee can keep some distance, you can just take them out in one hit if you headshot at decent range. So, like a shotgun, instantly take out a shock trooper if they get caught in the open at close range. If you have cover against snipers, it's not too big a deal, and you outdamage them at close range. Well, due to you hitting more health. Dark Trooper, they do outdamage you, but you have more health as a Wookiee, and I'd say that Dark Trooper probably do have the advantage against Wookiees, but it's not impossible for. Well, a Wookiee does have a very good chance of winning still. In my opinion, I think the Imperial Pilot's probably the most deadly class for a Wookiee to take on. It has health packs, which means your long range hits aren't gonna bother it as much as other classes. And at medium to short range, it's quite vulnerable to its ideal range. It's quite vulnerable to mortared hits. So I feel that Imperial Pilot's probably the best class against the Wookiee. Simply because it outdamages the Wookiee at its ideal range. Against Imperial Pilot, you're probably best trying to take it out from a longer kind of range, since if you headshot, even at long range, you'll do quite a bit of damage and might be able to take it out before it heals with its health packs. But overall, I feel that Imperial Pilot's probably the best class to try and counter the Wookiee. So I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. I find the most useful thing on multiplayer for a Wookiee to do is just to continuously charge 3 hits and aim it head tight. Don't bother too much with the grenade launcher. It's a useful weapon, but it's not your primary weapon. So don't treat it like, don't like continuously spam grenades or anything. I don't feel that's extremely effective. And let's charge at 3 shots. And try not to miss like I am. Keep in mind as well that a Wookiee can live a grenade, which is quite funny. So if you have to take a grenade, I guess you can take a grenade. The other thing is with it, since it has so many grenades, since it has a grenade launcher, grenade jumping and such is quite useful and can be done quite extensively. You've got to keep in mind that Wookiees, due to their slow speed, have a different timing to other classes.